There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And welcome back, everyone. A pleasant good morning to you, coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Friday. Hey, happy Friday to you, and happy second half of the baseball season. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam as we return to work here and get ready for, sports betting season. That's what it is. Yeah, we're going to have to knock off a couple of weeks here, but before you know it, we'll have NFL preseason, we'll have college football, and we'll have our great sports that we love to bet on August through the first of the year into the second half of the postseason in football. You know where we're headed with this. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Thank you for allowing me a couple of days to catch my breath and get ready to go here for the second half of the season. And of course, we'll have Major League Baseball today as well. And it's WNBA All-Star Friday tonight with our contest out at Gainbridge Arena with the three-point contest with the skills challenge. There's a little bit of news there, but we'll talk a little bit about WNBA All-Star Friday night. And also, there is NBA Summer League action. Hopefully, you've been able to ride with me a little bit here in these last couple of days. Hopefully, you're signed up with my picks because, man, we really have had a really strong run there. Hopefully, you are on with me on some of these NBA Summer League picks. I always do well in the NBA Summer League, and we're doing it again here. 6-1 yesterday over at Winnable. So check me out over there. I'll talk about it in just a moment. And not much to review here anyway with the action over the last couple of days, but I'll tell you how it went for me certainly there with the Major League Baseball All-Star Game and Home Run Derby. Hopefully you caught some of the shows. I was on Cal Raleigh to win the Home Run Derby there. I know it was a favorite, but didn't feel like it was a favorite when he made it to the finals by 8 inches. 8 inches, they say. And he was able to win it. And I had the winner there in that one. And, of course, the National League won the All-Star Game this time around. I always think American League's going to win, but fun game, good game there at the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. And what else happened over your couple of days without me? Let me say hello to the folks in the chat and get the show started. We're just going to preview our baseball games pretty much today. There is, of course, however, a major sporting event going on right now at Portrush there, and we've got the Open Championship, and man, we're going to be in for a thriller. It feels like this weekend. Scotty hasn't even teed off yet, and we have Brian Harmon on top by a stroke at Portrush, Royal Portrush here at the Open Championship. Harmon about to end his round here. He's through 17 today, a one-stroke lead over Haotong Lee. If you ask me, and he's at 6 under, and he's got a wild ways to go here. He's only through 5 today. Harris English looks like he's doing a pretty nice job here. 1 under for the day. Of course, he came in leading this this morning over at Royal Portrush, but I think Harris English will hang in there for another day for sure. Terrell Hatton up there at 500. Rasmus Højgaard, he's in the clubhouse at 5 under. Bobby Mack, He's at 5 under as well. This leaderboard, pretty solid for sure. Tony Finau up there at 4 under. Matt Fitzpatrick hasn't teed off yet, but there's some other players. Keegan Bradley made it through at 3 under for a decent score here. Could be a top 15 guy here this afternoon. And Rory has just birdied moments ago, hole 14, to move to 3 under. That's where Scheffler is. Ludwig Berg, 2 under. Tommy Fleetwood, 2 under. They still have more golf to play here. And looks like Bryson DeChambeau pulled some birdies out of his butt, and maybe he's going to make the cut at Royal Portrush. Man, it's nice to see these football lines behind me here, isn't it? With those early dates. Take a look at some of those lines. All right, fans, let's see how you're doing here in the chat over the last couple of days. Let's see who's ready to roll here. It's Cash Kane. He's ready to roll. Yeah, well, I was at my days off. I went to the Coldplay concert here for a couple. Did anybody see me there? Nuke is here. Good morning. Here is Irish King. He's ready to go for a couple of days. Hey, everyone, like this video. Subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. And we're ready for a big weekend after taking these days off. We're getting right back to action here with our Major League Baseball. And tomorrow it is UFC 318, Holloway versus Poirier 3 on Saturday, July 19th at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. That's where Dustin Diamond Poirier, of course, a man from Lafayette, Louisiana, getting ready for his bout against Max Holloway. The BMF title should be pretty good on Saturday. Make sure you're joining us for companion coverage of UFC 318. This one might be a little bit top heavy with that blockbuster matchup, but still, you're going to be wanting to join the action here this weekend. Of course, we'll keep an eye on Manny Pacquiao and his fight at the same time this weekend, and some other boxing as well, but we'll be knee deep in it. We start here, I believe, at 6:10, the usual time on Saturday. Probably fire it up around 6 p.m. Eastern there with a big card, including that main event on Saturday night. So make sure you're joining us for that companion coverage. Harrison the Hustler is here. Zach Hatton had some good time off. Joe W. as well. Nick Candy, who I finally found on X, I think. That's what I did. I was, cleaned up my social media, got rid of a bunch of phone apps I didn't need. Found some things to do. My vacation actually was a disaster, but I did enjoy the time off there. But I didn't have tried to make a trip to San Diego, and my rent-a-car died in the middle of the Mojave Desert, and it ruined the weekend pretty much. All right, Fernando's back and ready to go. Maybe it's just my luck, but I will say this, looking back on it, the time that I was expected to arrive back in Vegas last night, they had a big flood, and all the traffic got detoured anyways with a massive traffic jam. So maybe it worked out okay. Andrew G. NYC Bar. Nathan Amis. It's got to be Nathan Amis. I think it's Nathan Amis. It's Nathan. I know that. Nice to meet you, Nathan. Thank you for being here today. Nick, I would never leave Nick in. I didn't know Nick Handy was on social media. So my pleasure. All right, and had some little bit of news here last night, and saw in pro basketball the news that it would be Damian Lillard, a surprise signing by the Blazers. He'll return to Portland. He will miss this season with that torn Achilles, but a week after he was bought out by Milwaukee, he signs a 3-year, $42 million deal. It's not over, apparently, for Damian Lillard. Maybe it's a little bit of a welcome home money there, and thank you for the memories. But, hey, I would think they still have a feeling that Dame can, still perform. So he got that 3-year deal. The Suns also will pay the buyout on the next 5 years of Bradley Beal, and he signs with the Clippers. I don't know what's going. It seems kind of it's only a $99 million buyout or something like that. I don't know how they work that out, but it does seem kind of crazy out there. And getting ready also NFL training camps. Man, this is going to be a good time. We're getting ready for the season here. So, all right. And make sure you join me today. Hey, we're back at it. And hopefully, like I said, notice some people kind of canceling their subscriptions a little bit, maybe just because of the slow days there. But I wasn't slowing down, man. I'm tearing it up right now in the NBA Summer League. 6-1 yesterday with my premiums. Yeah, it's a lot of picks, but there's not much sports going on. And for some reason, I really do excel in these leagues that are kind of news driven, or these short term leagues where the information goes a little bit quick and you got to be ready on the jump. So I've had some big winners yesterday in the NBA Summer League, and hopefully you're with me over there. Hopefully you're with me. Remember my pick for the NBA Summer League Championship? I know we were on this show where I took Toronto at 10-1. They're making it. They're in. They're alive. They're undefeated. 4-0 there. I think they're going to make it to the NBA Summer. We'll see. I think they're in actually there with their play so far, and yeah, we're on them at 10-1, and they look like the best team to me. You see them last night; they were dunking and driving and doing everything to look good in their win last night over Golden State. They pulled away for that win. We had the total under as our pick, but that's our team. That's our team. Go Toronto. So check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon, and you can get buy plays here, especially in baseball. We'll be back at it today for sure with our action tonight in the major leagues. So check it out over at winnable.com/Ramon, and join me over there. All right. Let's get to the action here today. We'll keep you up to date. Hopefully you're watching here too, watching the action from Royal Port Rush. Hao Tong Lee with a birdie. He's in there now, tied for the lead at the Open Championship. And hey, hopefully you're on the golfers with me. I don't know if the picks are going all that sound here right now with my plays. Anyway, I got Tommy Fleetwood in there. I had looking for some of my guys to kind of get up the ladder here. Keegan Bradley hanging in there. He should be able to give me a little threat here. I don't know if we had great plays. I think really right now, if you had to look at the current leaderboard, let me bring myself back on screen here. If you had to look at the current leaderboard at the Open Championship, look, I didn't get on Scotty. Not that Scotty can't win every tournament, just thought that the odds itself there. But looking at Scotty's position right now, the fact that he's currently at 3 under, was 1 stroke back to enter the day. He has not teed off yet, and he's plus 250. I'd say now is the time. If 250 is not good enough for you, I don't blame you, but given the position that he's in right now and the fact that, man, in majors, Scotty's strokes gained continue to be off the charts, as if he treats these tournaments even a little bit different. It's almost record-setting. It's Tiger Woods-esque nearly, and I would think that at plus 250, I didn't put him on my pre-game list. If it's not enough for you, fine. But I think this is the time. If you maybe are frustrated with your current lineup, maybe you have Scotty already. I would think that 5-2 is good to go. Actually, on Scotty Scheffler, I'd probably go pretty hard on that. Full. If you're not invested, if you're not gonna, if you're taking a loss, whatever the case may be at the Open Championship, I'd say now's the time for Scotty in this tournament. I think he might be in position to win here. There's some big names on this leaderboard, so I imagine they might have to battle somebody here. And look, if you can just have another strong day and stay on this leaderboard like you should, Scotty probably decent. All right. A few more folks here, including Sports Money's ready to go here with the second half of the season, and we're got some great things in store here for you. Okay, I guess we're just gonna go with it here, huh? And get started with the previews today. Why not? Hope I didn't miss anything or forget anything. Oh, let me preview the WNBA first, shall we? Just because of the uh, action here tonight at Cambridge Arena. Unfortunately, Caitlin Clark will not be participating in the WNBA All-Star Friday night's event nor the All-Star game. You saw there right at the end of the game, grabbing that right groin. She was so upset there on, boy, where was it? Monday now, I guess? Or no, what day was that? Wednesday, maybe? Tuesday, had to be Tuesday, but she had that another injury right now. Man, let's hope this lady is not injury prone. But she sustained that injury in the win over Connecticut on July 15th, and she was going to be in the three-point contest. Lexi Hall takes her place. These events will begin at 5 p.m. here. Lexi Hall, but you have Ionescu in there. She set the record with 37 points in the three-point contest a couple years ago. Alicia Gray won last year. She's in it again. They do things a little differently in the WNBA. The stars are in. Citron, the Mystics rookie, is in, and Kelsey Plum is shooting three-pointers. The stars participate in the contest. And also the skills challenge. Remember, Alicia Gray, talk about the type of player that she won the skills challenge last year too. So Natasha Cloud, Skylar Diggins in there, her teammate Erica Wheeler, and Courtney Williams in that contest. So look, Caitlin Clark will still be there. She's going to kind of be an assistant coach, sign a lot of autographs, I guess, there as well. So that'll be an event to keep your eye on tonight. But we'll be watching Major League Baseball. Let's grow to it. Yeah, Andrew G said she had a bad groin. She's been I think Andrew actually, I believe it was her left groin that she had been battling the injury, and now it's her right groin. That man, boy. That twinge, man. I mean, a male, female. I don't think there's a difference between those, those muscles that attach your leg to your body. Man, that hurts, that burn, that rip in there. All right. Let's just get started with the action so we get you going here on your day and take a look at the matchups here. We've got a day game to start us off in Major League Baseball with the Red Sox taking on the Cubs. Hey, nothing like firing it up in the second half here to get it going with a big matchup for sure, especially with these two teams come into the second half right now with the Red Sox. Last we spoke, the Red Sox were on fire. They were the team in the major leagues that were doing the most noise, if you will, and getting right back into the pennant race here with their move here, just 3 games out of first place behind the Toronto Blue Jays. And, well, the Cubs, I guess they're doing pretty good too. Cubs right now sitting atop the Central Division, just 1 game over Milwaukee here currently, but they'll be in action today with Colin Ray on the mound going up against Lucas Giolito. Pretty attractive pitching matchup. For Giolito, he comes in with a 6-1 record and a 3.36 ERA, 1.2 the WHIP, 253 batting average against. Red Sox are 9-3 with Giolito on the mound. He's up against veteran Colin Ray here, the right-hander, 7-3 with a 3.91 ERA, 1.2 WHIP, 261 batting average against, and a 278 BABIP. So, look, I think Ray is a little better than those numbers here, and the Red Sox are an underdog in this game. Right now, the Cubs come in at $1.30, 8 under 15. I don't think we've seen too much of a move. These games are actually on the board a little bit longer than the normal, about a day or so. So some of it has settled here. There have been some moves today. There have been some steam today as well. For the Cubs, they come in having won 8 of their last 12. They're still doing pretty good. They've gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. They've also won 5 of their last 6 games at home coming in. However, Boston has won 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. Boston, of course, comes in red hot on a big winning streak here. They've gone over in 5 of their last 7 games on the road. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over. 5 of the last 7 between the two here. In Chicago, we've got interleague action here today between Boston and the Cubs. Let's go to the chat, and great to have you back here and get your plays ready in this one. This is the day game. It's Friday. It's Cubs baseball, and see what you've got in the chat. Giolito up against Colin Ray. Not much. Maybe you forget how this works, but I want to hear from you in the chat. And let's see, Abel's here today, and Abel says he's going to cash more Dodgers single game parlays in the second half. And, we saw a good old Dave Roberts there, Abel. Man, this guy, he almost cost the National League. I mean, I don't know how you can blow an all-star game like Dave Roberts almost did there. Lucky they won in that home run derby there. I want to shout out my man Kyle Stowers for getting into the home run, the mini derby. He hit one, right? Not often you'd think, you line up for a home run derby to win the game, and you go with your number 9 hitter in there, and he hits a home run. But you know what? Most of the batting stars had already left the stadium on Tuesday night, and the best sluggers were not around. They had already taken off for home. So your all-star game is still broken, Major League Baseball. Maybe it was a novel way to end the event, but maybe you should have the guys stick around if what are the chances of that game going extra innings? Pretty damn solid, right? If you think about it, because look, it was a closely rated game. We know it wasn't like some big favorite, right? $1.20, whatever it was. There's a good chance as the All-Star game is going to go extra innings. So picture thing again, baseball. You kind of had it right a little bit. Just don't tell me within the next 5 years that Major League Baseball is going to decide regular season games by home run derbies. Watch out. This commissioner's a little wacko. NYC Bar says go under. Abel says the Cubs will smash. Nuke says, it's tough when you're on a hot streak and then you got to go on to the All-Star game, right? And Zach says that, they've been hot with Giolito on the mound in his last few starts. He's been dealing here of late, right? The last 3 starts for Giolito, the Cubs, the Red Sox have outscored their opponents 36-5. But strangely enough, in the last 3 games that Colin Ray has pitched, the Cubs have outscored their opponents 31-7. Wow, this is an interesting matchup here. Both pitchers have led their teams to victories here, consecutive victories in this one. So let's see what, I guess you're done. Textiles there today as well. All right, I guess I got to make my call here in this one as we get ready for a matinee today here between the Red Sox and the Cubs. I got to go under in this one with Boston and Chicago. Look, you see the total there, 8.5 under 15 with 2 pretty decent pitchers. That makes you kind of wonder, where we stand with today's weather, because you'd think as solid as these 2 guys have been, that maybe, just maybe, it would be a little bit lower, lower here, but I guess that's not the case. So pretty high line here. I got a technical issue here real quick. Guess I'm just kind of getting back into the flow here a little bit. Make sure I got my notes here perfect and ready, you guys. Sorry about that. Oh. Okay, I might just have to move on here right now with the. There we go. Okay, I got it. Want to make sure I get the weather. You guys are probably yelling at me right now, telling me about the weather today, but I'm showing here that it is blowing in 7 to 8 miles an hour with two very solid pitchers. This feels almost premium. I know the teams are hot offensively, but both pitchers have been so very solid. Now I know the top of the Red Sox lineup here probably have some pretty good matchups here with Colin Ray. It's, Duran, Toro, Anthony, and Abreu. What about this lineup? I mean, real interesting what Boston has been able to do ever since that trade. And, it's not exactly a great matchup for some of these Cubs at the top of the lineup, including Kyle Tucker, including Pete Crow Armstrong here today. So, all right, I'm going to take the under in this one. Boston here for Irish King. Cash Kane likes the Cubs. Hey, it feels like, I know there's some other good matchups, but you got two legendary franchises here. It feels like the game of the day at 2:10 Eastern, 11:10 Pacific. Oh, let's move on now. And you got, obviously, the other big matchup of the day here with the White Sox taking on the Pirates. Tell you what, give me another month or two and we'll skip this game. But you do have Jonathan Cannon here on the mound. He's up against Brady Falter. Cannon, a 4.44 ERA, 1.44 WHIP, 268 batting average against. He's 3-7 this season for Brady Falter here. Falter comes in with a 6-4 record, 3.79 ERA, 235 batting average against, and a 243 BABIP. These are very solid numbers, I think, for Falter, although the Pirates are just 10-9 with him on the mound this season. Let's hear from you in the chat as we talk Pirates. And let me get this price here adjusted. $1.55. The total has gone up here for sure. About 9 under 15, it feels like, in this one. And I don't know. Maybe this one could have some runs here today, even with these, weak lineups. Let's just call it for what it is. But, let's hear what you got. And I'll go over some of the trends here with these two. You got the Sox coming in. They lost 6 of their last 8 games into the All-Star break, including losing 19 of their last 25 games on the road. They're just 1-5 in their last 6 games against Pittsburgh and just 3-8 when playing at Pittsburgh here. For the Pirates, they had lost 8 of their last 9 coming into the break. So pretty tough to want to lay $1.55. It feels like no matter who you're playing, even if it is the White Sox. But the Pirates, actually, they were on a bit of a road trip. They've actually won. They're on a winning streak, actually, at home, coming in, I think, 5 in a row here right now. And for the Pirates also here, they've gone under in 10 of their last 12 games. The White Sox have actually gone under in 11 of their last 16 games and 13 of their last 18 games on the road. So maybe it could be an under, but it doesn't feel like it to me. Let's hear from you folks in the chat in this one. Tough to want to get some run line action, it feels like, with the Pirates. I think they can win given some of these factors, but wouldn't want to lay a run line with them. And boy, I don't even want to lay the price, but maybe it is a free play or something. Let's see if you were interested here with the Pirates and the Sox. We'll not talk this one. Good morning to Blue in the chat. He likes the White Sox here to go over. And here is NYC Bar likes the Pirates. Oh no, blue switches. It says go under here. Maybe after hearing those trends. Look, I read the trends and I don't know if I want to go under in this game here actually. Uh, Pirates team total over for Fernando. I'm just going to take the Pirates on the money line. I always want to get back into the action here, back into the flow. I know it's $1.55. You don't have to tail me or anything. I'm just going to bet the Pirates today at $1.55. $1.50 is my cutoff a lot of times on this show, but I think the Pirates right now. I think this is the better matchup for them. I'll just take them here. Probably should go like first 5 or something. Okay. Abel says the White Sox get smashed here by the Bucks. Okay, next up, my Padres are on the road taking on the Nationals. A little bit of a price here to lay with Dylan Cease, who trying to make a pun out of this one, and Cease to amaze me that this guy can't get his season going, it feels like right now. But yeah, the Padres are still pretty big favorite on the road. Doesn't feel real comfortable here. Might be down to under $1.50, maybe $1.45 at some spots. And the total has definitely dropped here big time from 8.5. I don't know if it was really heavily. Maybe it was juiced a little bit here, but 8.5 over here is actually about 8 over 20 right now. A good half a run. Taking off this one on some widely reported steam here as we go have Dylan Cease going up against Soroka here. So for this one, let's take a look at some of the numbers here. The Padres had won 6 of their last 7 games at Washington. Washington had lost 4 straight games heading into the break. Now, Washington here versus Cease, some pretty rugged numbers. Last year, Dylan Cease owned the Nationals in 2 starts. Did go 16 innings in 2 games, 2 wins for Cease, and he struck out 18. He really dominated Pittsburgh in his appearances against the Pirates last year. However, Soroka, some decent numbers against this Padres lineup as well. A little bit smaller sample size. In fact, I think just over 20 at bats. I don't even know if he's got enough experience against some of these batters. So I'm more interested in maybe what Cease can do here. But man, at $1.50 here, look, Washington had struggled mightily. There's no doubt about it heading in. The Padres are the better team record-wise coming in. For Cease, he comes in here right now. Like I said, the numbers are, well, I don't want to say not reflective of his ability because for whatever reason, it's not like it's getting fixed anytime soon. He's got a 4.88 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, and a 3.24 BABIP shows. It's not like he's been unlucky. He's 3-9 with this Padres team, but the Padres are 9-10 when he pitches. So what it means is that Cease really isn't putting his team into position necessarily. He's giving it up, and the team is rallying back. For Soroka here, he's 3-7. The Washington's 3-10 with Soroka on the mound, 5.35 ERA, but a 230 batting average against and a 285 BABIP would suggest that, well, he's been a little bit less. Maybe, I don't know if he's been better than Cease, but the metrics would say that maybe he's been the equivalent of Cease. The widely reported steam did come in on Washington here as well. But let's go to the chat and see what you have here and see if you can find a way with this one. Man, Padres better win, but look at this price here, $1.50. Maybe it's okay. Let's see. I kind of still want to take them, but it wouldn't be for a premium, I don't think, here. Padres have come in having lost 7 of their last 10 games on the road, actually. They did win 4 of their last 6 into the break, playing some home games. They have dominated Washington, like I said. winning 6 of the last 7 here and 8 of the last 9 games overall for Washington. They were struggling into the break. Those 4 straight losses. They had lost 8 of 9. They'd lost 12 of 15 games at home. So they're just not playing well. And maybe against a team like San Diego here, maybe the Padres will be okay. But let me see if you guys can do it here with Washington. Maybe they could get this run line today. It's not an awful price here currently at plus 1.5 minus $1.35. Into the chat we go for the Padre game today, and it's going to be Abel on the Nats on the run line. Good morning to Tony today. And NYC Bar Padres run line. Blues on the Padres. Zach says Padres run line. And Nuke says still got to take them here. They should be okay possibly. And Nats are just bad. Good morning to Gorky today. He was on the Red Sox back there in the big game. Fernando's on the under in the Padre game. And Irish King says Padres first 5 and team total over in this one. Jim, good morning to Jim Duweiger in the chat. All right. Guess I got to make my call here in this one. And, man, the Nationals have been struggling here for sure, but I'm going to take them on the run line today against the Padres and minus $1.35 or so. Padres better win, but I'll take the Nats plus a 1.5 today. Terrell's got Wood to hit a home run. Right? I thought he did look pretty good in the All-Star. I don't know if Wood, he does have a tall, lanky swing, and he was definitely hitting some out of there. I don't know if he's a home run derby style hitter, but maybe I imagine he'll get thicker, I guess, if you will, in the years to come. Maybe that will help him, but he might give the home run derby another chance. All right, the Angels are on the road here with Soriano taking on Luzardo here and for the Phillies, man. Coming in here with 4.14 ERA and a 1.4 whip, 272 batting average against, but a 370 BABIP for Luzardo. That can't be very good, really, if you think about it. Yes, Luzardo done a pretty solid job here, I guess, for the most part. But we're up here today going up against the Angels. I believe Soriano. I think some of the books have not really made a overall commitment here, it feels like, in this game. Now, I just think this is a bad matchup for the Angels, and I think they'll probably get rocked. But, man, Luzardo's numbers just aren't. They're not. I know we all love Luzardo, and on the surface, these numbers are okay. But I would question Luzardo in a big matchup here. He's against the Angels here, and look, the Angels we know they've done a great job finishing just 2 games under 500 so far through the halfway point of the season. That is actually really good considering the Angels' expectations here. The Phillies are 11-8 with Luzardo here on the mound. The Angels come in having lost 4 of their last 5 games on the road. The Angels have actually won. It's interesting. The Angels have lost 7 of their last 9 against the Phillies. And when you're talking trends, maybe that's more of a trend to follow rather than the fact that the Angels have actually won 14 of the last 21 between the two teams. They had a long winning streak for a few years, 21 games. That's a sample size that draws back to before the pandemic. So I don't know, other than maybe a mental block for the Phillies, or maybe they lost some on the road, obviously. The Angels are just 1-5 in their last 6 at Philadelphia. So But long term, like I said, the Angels have had some modest success against this team. It's one of the teams they actually play well against, but it's the interleague, so they don't meet very frequently. The Phillies had won 10 of their last 13 heading into the break, although they did lose 4 of their last 6 games coming in. Philadelphia had gone under in 5 of their last 7 at home. The Angels had gone over in 6 of their last 7, but under in 5 of their last 6 on the road. I got to take the Phillies here. Still, even though I'm talking a bunch of trash about Luzardo, and like I said, if it were a big game, I don't know if I'm trusting Luzardo and moving forward. And I'm a Luzardo guy, but those numbers right now are just not adding up. Here we go. Blues on the Angels. Team total over. Phillies money line for NYC Bar. Phillies money line for Cash Kane. Jim is on the over. Abel will use the Phillies for their what is this? O'Hop? Is this O'Hop? The home run there? And then YC Bar says, what did I pick in the pot? I took the Nats on there. On that run line, man, all right. In this one, I'm on the Phillies, though, on the run line. Okay, next up, the Giants are on the road, taking on the Blue Jays here. And, oh, man, Justin Verlander's pitching. But you know what? It's been rough, right? Verlander's 0-7 right now for the Giants. And the Giants are just 4-11 with Verlander on the mound, but I'm going to give him a chance here to spin a good game against Bassett. I think maybe it'll bring out the best in him. You got Bassett here 9-4 with a 4.12 ERA, 3.30 BABIP. His numbers aren't spectacular really either, but Blue Jays are 12-7 with Bassett on the mound. That's a contrast from Verlander and the Giants being 4-11 with him on the mound. Blue Jays doing a great job. Remember, they're going to enter the second half of the season here, currently in first place in the East by 2 games over the Yankees and looking pretty good. Meanwhile, the Giants are in third place currently, pretty much tied with the Padres right now, and the Dodgers still well in front. Arizona, 11 games back. We'll talk about the Diamondbacks in a short bit, but it does feel like right now the Diamondbacks, or actually they've kind of almost announced that they are going to be sellers here at the deadline. Hey, a little bit of steam coming in right now, and I don't mind this steam here, really. I don't want to give away the premiums, and I'm not sure yet, but steam to the over here. White Sox and Pittsburgh, the 8.5s now. I'm showing a 9 under 22 here at DraftKings, and that total going up between the White Sox and Pittsburgh today. I've had a feeling that that's where the Sharps would go, and that's where they are headed right now on the over in that one. All right, let's hear from you right now with the Giants and the Blue Jays here in this one. With Verlander looking for his first win for the Giants here. They come in right now having won 4 of their last 5 games on the road. They've lost 4 of the last 5 games against Toronto. Overall, 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and 4 out of the last 5 here in Toronto have gone under. The Giants went under in 5 of their last 7. Heading into the break, Toronto had gone under in 4 of their last 5 heading into the break. But the real story has been how good the Blue Jays have been. They've won 11 of their last 14. They're on a winning streak at home here as well. Toronto's gone over in 15 of their last 22 games at home coming into this one. But I'm going to give these pitchers a chance here, especially with this total at 8.5 here today. Slightly shaded to the over here, it feels like. Might not be 8 over 20, but in fact, I'm starting to show it shifting here a little bit. I think this is a bit of an indicator, actually. Showing, I'll call it 8.5 flat, but I'm showing some 8.5 unders out there right now. I'm taking the Blue Jays here at minus $1. Want to say $1, well, $1.50 at some of the square books now, so maybe it's gone up You can get the sharp books down to $1.40 or $1.35. I got to take Toronto here to keep it going right now at home. Because the chat, see what you have here in this one. It's going to be Abel on the Jays here. Cash Kane says Blue Jays first 5. NYC Bar does like the over, though. Blue Jays team total over for Blues. Zach Hatton today liking the Jays on the run line. All right. Next up, we've got the Reds taking on the Mets here with Lodolo taking on Mania here. And look, we got Mania going for the Mets. Look, the Mets right now, you got to figure, given their situation here currently, this is good that Mania is back here right now and getting this start. Let's see if he can contribute. You'd think he would. He might contribute right away, actually. I kind of like the matchup between these two pitchers, interestingly enough. Mania's numbers on the surface weren't bad in that first appearance, but he did take the loss in a relief appearance. He had basically had an opener, 2.7 ERA in that game. Lodolo, 19 starts. He's 6-6, a 3.38 ERA, 275. Babbitt coming into this one. I think the pitchers could be fine here, these starting pitchers today, and maybe the bullpen can hold on here. But the widely reported steam did come in on the over here. Mostly right now, though, still, I'm showing this number lower than this, actually. So, yes, let me make sure of that. Let me make sure that steam over. I'm pretty sure I was sitting here. Yeah, steam to the over. But right now, I'll tell you, there's some 7.5s out there right now. Now it is juice to the over for sure. So I don't know if I've seen the steam to the over that was reported by the line services. Maybe it did go down originally because, I feel like that's the way I'm headed or that's the way I'm looking. But let's see what you guys have in this one with the Reds on the road against the Mets here. Remember, the Mets right now coming in just a half a game behind the Phillies. We got a lot to determine, a lot to decide here. And, yeah, the Mets are still going to be live for any, wild card here if they can't outlast the Phillies. The Reds have done a pretty nice job, I'd say, with that record over 500. The NL Central is the new AL Central. They're the teams that have been pretty good here this season with 4 teams over 500 here currently. All right, let's take a look and see what these two were up to before the break. The Reds have won 4 of 5 heading into the All-Star break. However, they lost 5 in the last 7 meetings here against the New York Mets, including 6 of the last 9 games here, actually, at Citi Field. Let's see if I can't take a look here at the Mets. Mets had won 4 of their last 5 games at home, actually, coming into this one, and the Mets have gone over in 10 of their last 15 games coming in, and also the Mets have gone over in 5 of their last 6 games at home. Let's go to the chat here in this one, and we've got Cash Kane might be going under here in this one. NYC Bar likes the Mets team total over. Blue is on the under here. Irish King says he took the New York Mets first 5. Oh, he had the pitcher. He thought it was going to be Clay Holmes, and it's Sean Mania here. And we'll see, right? You got to give Mania, a chance, I would think, until he proves that he's not ready or, in shape or whatever. I'm not going to worry about that first outing. Here is Abel. He's on the Reds here. Jermaine here. Let's see. Irish King, Cincinnati money line Fernando says Lodolo over in his K prop, and Irish King likes Tampa Bay first 5. Oh, I got to make the call here in this one. Whoops. All right. Let me make sure I got it right here. Okay, I got to make the call in this one between I was confused there with the Tampa Bay there. Thanks, Irish King. I don't think we've gotten that far yet. Okay, I'll make my call here with the Reds and the Mets here in this one. So you guys have gotten your plays in here. Let me just peek at the market action here today. Kind of getting back into the flow, if you know what I mean, here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try the Reds here. What's the run line with the Reds today? Can't be too unreasonable. Oh gosh, give me the Reds on the money line. I'm gonna try the Reds here in this one. Price too high. I feel like even $1.50 here. Give me the Red. I'm gonna take the Reds for an upset today. Okay, next up. Hey, the Athletics are taking on the Guardians here with J.P. Sears on the road, taking on Slade Ciccone. Sears a 4.79 ERA. He's 7-7 on the mound here. You're talking about an A's team, 16 games under 500, but Sears gives you a real chance. 4.79 ERA, but a 256 BABIP, a 256 batting average against, and a 276 BABIP. We know how it is. Playing half your games in that bandbox for Cleveland here, and Slade Ciccone. He's 4-4 with a 3.44 ERA, 246 batting average against, 294 BABIP, but Cleveland's 2-8 to the under with Ciccone on the mound. Might be a little bit of non-run support, but hey, he's 500, and I think that the Guardians are 500 with him on the mound. They're 5-5. Okay, let's go to the chat in this one and see what you have with the Athletics and the Guardians here today. You got the Guardians coming in, having actually won 4 out of their last 6 into the break, but against Cleveland, it hasn't been good. They've won just 2 of their last 12 games, 2 of their last 14 games against the Guardians. And look, J.P. Sears, pretty good, pretty okay pitcher, right? But $1.30 on the price. Now, Cleveland is 3 games under 500. They definitely have not been getting it going, but they have won 6 of their last 7 into the break, although they've been losing at home. Remember, they were on a road trip and doing that. Winning actually here, but still a pretty modest little price when you're considering the A's. Maybe that momentum, right? At first part of the season, they were playing well on the road. They couldn't get comfortable at home. It feels like now they're able to take advantage a little bit in Sacramento and be able to kind of, play better in that stadium that kind of suits that power that they have. We saw Rooker look pretty good at the All-Star home run derby there. All right. Let's see what you guys have in this one with Athletics and Cleveland here today. It's going to be A's in Cleveland, first 5 under for Jermaine here. I expect that could be pretty good. I mean, I think these 2 pitchers could be pretty good here. Guardians money line here. Cash Kane. Here's NYC Bar says Guardians run line. Jermaine says Sears has been pitching against poor teams, but where are we with the Guardians? It feels like they're not anything special either. Abel says A's with the upset. I'm still going to go with Cleveland here. I think this is a very reasonable price with this Athletics team on the road. Now, there's no doubt Cleveland struggles against these left-handed pitchers. Right now, their record 9-19, and I know that's what's turning a lot of people off here, trying to take the Guardians, but I'm going to do so today. I'll still take Cleveland here. I acknowledge that record for sure right now, but to me, athletics on the road is more what I'm not interested in. Not necessarily Sears, who, well, like I said, I think I'm okay in a lot of spots with Sears, and I know Oakland is going to be Oakland's going to be pretty popular today because of those numbers. It feels like. All right. Let's take a look here right now and keep it moving with the action here today with the Yankees. Take it on the Braves. Wow. Look at this one. Huh? Oh, did I miss the I got the matchup here written in, but I don't have the right teams. Let me get this. I missed a game here, guys. I think we all see it there. The Royals. What's going on here? Royals with Lugo. And the Marlins with Alcantara. There we go. Got the Royals here, going to be favored on the road. Let me see if I got this price right. There we go. I don't know why I messed that up. Do I have it in the right order, you guys? Oh, I see, because Kansas City doesn't officially. A lot of these starters will be announced here officially. Anyways, Kansas City on the road. They are favored in this one, $1.20, but some of the books don't have this game on the board just yet, so proceed with caution. I think here in this one, with Lugo going up against Alcantara. For Sandy, he's 4-9 with a 7.22 ERA. He's he's the worst pitcher in the league. It feels like just can't get it together. Sandy having these problems right now, and will he ever come back? It feels like could he get dealt here? Let's take a look at what you have in this one with Miami and Kansas City in Florida tonight. And like I said, I expect Lugo to be in there. Maybe he could have an opener also in this one. For Kansas City, they come in having lost 5 of their last 7 games overall against Miami, but they won 5 of 7 into the break. They also had won 4 of their last 6 games on the road. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. For the Marlins here, they've won 14 of their last 16 games coming into this. However, they had gone 7-14 in their last 21 games on the road. Interestingly enough, Miami's gone under in 10 of their last 11 games at home right now, and 9 of their last 13 games overall coming in. So let's see what you've got here. The Marlins at home taking on the Royals today. Go to the chat and get the plays from the chat. Lovable Plays is here. All right. We've got Jermaine. He's on the Phillies first 5, -0.5 here. And there's Lovable Plays. Yankees for Cash Kane back in that one. Thank you. We haven't even, I know I put it up there. I put the wrong graphic. We'll get to that. Blues on the under. Cash Kane Royals here. And also he likes the over. NYC Bar says Marlins in this one. Terrell says Miami on the run line here. And Jermaine's on the under. Abel's on the Royals. Cash Kane says he likes the under, and so do I. Give me the under here in this one with Kansas City and Miami. I'm going to take the under here. Next up, we've got, now that I've totally lost my place, there's the Yankees game, and what a matchup, huh? With Max Fried taking on Spencer Strider here. Now the Yankees are favored on the road, $1.15 or so, but I'm actually shown that the Braves have moved to, I'll call it a pick 'em right now. I'm showing the Braves have moved to a slight favorite currently at DraftKings. Total in this one is mostly 8.5 under or 8 over right now. Now, we don't have for sure Max Fried officially. Let me look. I don't think he's officially been announced. Fried actually comes in here with a blister issue. That's what caused him to miss the All-Star game. He does have a blister here, but he is expected to be the starter here in the matchup against Strider. For Strider, he comes in with a record of 3-7, a 3.94 ERA, a 2.15 batting average against, and a 2.78 BABIP. He still strikes out 30% of the hitters here right now. So hopefully it will be Fried. Hopefully Max will be in there, but did have that blister issue heading into the break, and that's what kept him out of the All-Star game. And his teammate Carlos Rodon was the man who replaced him. So actually the Braves have lost Strider's last 3 starts coming into this one. The Yankees come in. They've actually lost 5 of their last 6 games against Atlanta. Overall, Yankees are 10-5, however, in the last 15 games against the Braves. Yankees just 2-5, though, on the road in their last 7 overall against Atlanta. So, interestingly enough, short-term Braves have been winning, long-term Yankees have been winning, but interleague series, so not these teams not meeting frequently. Yankees won 5 of their last 7 coming into the break. The Braves had lost 12 of their last 17. They had lost 6 of their last 7 games on the road. So still, we'll see. Remember, Max Fried, he's the former Brave going up against these guys. They probably know him pretty well as far as his repertoire. Watching him day in and day out, a great pitcher that he was for many years with Atlanta, now with the Yankees. So a little bit of interesting storyline and motivation here in this one. Let's see if you guys think that is a factor in the game tonight between the Yankees and the Braves. We get the second half of the season underway. All right. See the umbrellas coming out here at the Open Championships right now. Here we go in the chat. It's not going to stop them. It's not going to stop them in at Royal Portrush. We'll see. But they're playing right now, it looks like. Here we go. Get the plays here. Jermaine says, Fried may not be going with that blister issue. He says he doesn't see the pitchers up there yet. Stop Geo says Fried has not been good lately. And Andrew K here today. NYC Bar likes the Yankees on the money line. Lovable plays on the over here. And I think that's it. I think everybody's kind of a little bit gun shy here right now, considering the situation here with Fried and the start today. But man, I think we're still kind of expecting him here, but we're still waiting to see because of that. A blister. You got to be ready. You got to be right. All right. I think that's it from you guys in the chat, and I'm on the Atlanta Braves here in this one today. I'm taking the Braves. Look, they've moved to the favorite of the books that are offering this game, so I'm going to take them here right now. Give me Atlanta over the Yankees tonight. Orioles and Rays with Charlie Morton on the mound here up against Dodge Bradley. Before Morton here, Look, Morton continues to be pretty okay for sure. He's got a 5.18 ERA and a 3.35 BABIP. Terrible numbers on the surface, but he's been slightly better of late, no doubt. He's 5-7, and the Orioles are 7-7 with Morton on the mound. Morton keeps you in the game here. For Taj Bradley, 5-6, the 4.6 ERA coming into this one. I think Bradley might be okay here too against this lineup. He's got 236 batting average against and a modest 274 BABIP coming into this one. So look, Baltimore was a team that was a little bit hotter. The Rays were not coming into the All-Star break, right? Remember, the Rays had actually lost 6 of their last 7 coming into the break and 4 of their last 5 at home. Get this, as good as the Rays have been, and we talk about, the Rays are in there in the American League East with the Red Sox, with the Yankees, with the Blue Jays. This has got to be tough year in and year out, yet Tampa Bay continues to do well, right, for years in the division. Here's the funny thing about it. They've actually lost 10 of their last 13 games at home to the Orioles. And 15 of their last 22. It's the Orioles that are giving them the biggest problems, it feels like. Maybe they're just so worn out playing those other teams, they overlooked the Orioles. The Orioles had won 6 of their last 9 games coming into the break. And, well, they dominate the Rays, but will it be enough? Bradley's struggled. Morton's been on the improve. Both guys have kind of poor numbers. In fact, Morton's numbers are far worse. Not far worse. They're worse than Bradley's. And they are on the road. So let's see what you got in the chat in this game. With a big game, right? With Tampa Bay. It's a big game for Tampa Bay for sure. They're in this. Here we go. Nate likes the Red Sox to smash today, and why not? They continue to smash. Top set, nice to see you. Good morning. Abel likes the under in this one. Terrell says he likes the rested Orioles team total. Right, they don't go to the they don't send anybody to the All-Star game. They're rested team in here. Funny thing is, you talk about the Yankees game with the Braves, right? And they were the ones that had Aaron Judge. He left the stadium early. Jazz Chisholm, he was in the home run derby, even though he sucked. He could have hit in the home run derby there at the end of the All-Star game. He'd probably left all the stars left the building there, and that's why we got the home run derby the way we did. You know who didn't leave was Kyle Legend. Dougie Wise, hello. Nice to have you. Damon, thank you. Nice to see you. We're back. Nathan Amis here. Hope I get that right, Nathan. He likes the O's money line. NYC Bar likes the under. Cascade, Orioles, and over. I've got the under here. I like the pitching today here, actually. Give me the under with Baltimore and Tampa. All right, next up, let's go to the Tigers. They're on the road taking on the Rangers with Reese Olson coming in here with a 2.95 ERA and 11 starts, 1.2 whip, 234. Batting average against a 300 BABIP. Going against Patrick Corbin. I mean, how old do you have to be to say Tyrone Corbin every time this guy pitches? I mean, Tyrone Corbin was a basketball player in like the late 70s, early 80s, and I still can't shake it out of my mind. And we know Patrick Corbin, the guy's got his own day named after him. Corbin 6-7 with a 4.15 ERA, 1.3 whip, 266 batting average against, and a 300 BABIP. Coming in. So what do you have here? Detroit taking on the Rangers here today with these two. I'll go to the chat, see what you have, but let's cover a bit of the trends here. I think in this one, you can look to the Tigers right now. They had lost 4 of their last 5 into the break, and they actually have won 6 of the last 9 meetings here at Texas. Detroit has won 5 of their last 7 games on the road. Coming in, Texas had won 4 of their last 6 games heading into the break. They lost 6 of their last 9 games at home. What are we going to do here with Detroit? And Texas, Detroit still on fire. I mean, I don't think we're going to hold back right now. I mean, there are 21 games over 500, one of the best teams in baseball, certainly heading into the break. Now, Texas, they are 8.5 back. Feels like they're letting it slide away here with Seattle clearly in second place right now heading into the second half of the season. In fact, the Rangers are closer to the Angels right now, battling for third place. So let's see how you like it in this one. Texas taking on Detroit today. I mean, I don't know. You get Detroit at a pretty good price here. I know Texas is at home, but when is Texas going to get it going here? In fact, I'm showing Detroit down to about $1.15 or so right now. And the total, 8.5 over 15. We're going to the chat for the picks here. And let's see if I miss these a little bit. Yeah, Terrell didn't like the split screen, but the thing is now, Terrell, that they have where, you don't have to wait for before they'd hit the ball, you'd have to wait for the ball to land. Over the last couple of years, they said, you can just keep pitching right now. So one thing I did, and I don't know if you guys did this too during the All-Star, during the Home Run Derby, was there was a kind of a StatCast version as well. I just had them both on, but that's before I left on my trip. And then I was watching the Home Run Derby while driving to San Diego, and the engine blew. All right, here's Cash Game. Tigers first 5, Irish Kings on Texas. Maybe Suarez would come to Detroit, says Jermaine, right? Like I said, the Diamondbacks are sellers. Cash Kane says Rangers full game here. Nathan says you got to take Detroit. Lovable plays Detroit. Abel says Detroit Final. In the North Detroit. Detroit of the North. Tigers of North. I think that's what that says. Tigers run line for NYC Bar. All right. Well, it's time for me to make my call, I guess, here in this one with the Tigers and the Rangers here. And, man, the price is certainly doable, it feels like. But I know the Sharps are going to be all over Texas here in this one. And maybe that is the right way to go. But I don't know if I want Texas in this. I'm taking Detroit. I usually would ride with the Sharps here, but I'm just going to take Detroit here in this Final. One. All right. How about Bobby Mack shooting that 66 here today? 5 under. Harmon's at 8 under. Hao Tong Lee, 7 under currently at the Open. Tigers run line for NYC Bar. Jermaine's on the over in this one. All right, we're cruising along. We're almost done with the baseball, and that's pretty much it here today. Thank you for joining me on the Morning Steam. Here are the Twins taking on the Rockies. In this one, you got Chris Paddock coming in here with making the start. He's got a 4.95 ERA and a 3-8 record. Minnesota's 5-14. With Paddock on the mound. He's got a 1.28 whip and a 265 batting average against, and a 284 BABIP. He's up against Kyle Freeland, and Freeland is just 1-10 so far this season. 3-14 are the Rockies with Freeland on the mound. 3-8 and 1-10 aren't that big of a difference, are they? It just 1-10 looks so much worse. But Freeland, 5.44. ERA and a 1.54 whip, 314 batting average against, and a 360 BABIP. Freeland kind of gets rocked here for sure, but I'm probably going to be at least on him on the run line today. I mean, you can get a bit even money, I think, on this run line. And, Minnesota to me, look, Paddock, they're 5-14 with Paddock on the mound. This feels like the spot where it's kind of cost Minnesota a little bit. They're still 3 games under 500 right now. They're out of it. Come on, Detroit's so far ahead, and these Central teams faded so badly. They'd have to get on a real roll in the second half just to get back into the playoff hunt. It feels like. Now we know the Rockies are the worst team in baseball, no doubt about it. Let's go to the chat, though. I'm taking them. I'm taking the Rockies today on the run line. All right, here we go. A few plays from you. Jermaine going under here in this one. Terrell says, take Buxton there to hit a home run. And Jermaine says he's ready to go under in this one today. All right, I'll take the Rockies on the run line. Not much interest in that one, it looks like. How about the Cardinals and Andre Palante? He's up against the Diamondbacks, and I think, is it Merrill Kelly or is it Brandon Pfaadt? Yeah, I'm sure Brandon Pfaadt is the pitcher in this game, right? I think that's what we saw. Let me fix this here. $1.30, 9 under 15, it feels like right now. I think Pfaadt is in there today. There we go. Oh, geez. I've screwed up the graphic. There we go. All right. There we go. We'll see. Could be Pfaadt. I think it is Pfaadt in this one. That's who I have on my notes here. I've got Pfaadt coming in here in this one with a 9-6 record and a 5.16 ERA here in this one, 1.3 whip, 270 batting average against for Palante here in this one. He comes in with a 5-5 record, 4.49 ERA, 1.29 whip, 252 batting average against, and a 269 BABIP. Coming into this one, let's see what you have. St. Louis and Arizona, and take a look at some of the trends heading into the break. Get reacquainted with how these teams were doing. St. Louis had lost 8 of their last 12 coming into the break, including 5 of their last 6 on the road. But the Cardinals have beaten Arizona in 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two, and the Cardinals have won 9 of the last 13 games at Arizona. Arizona had lost 4 of their last 5 coming into the break, and Arizona's gone under in 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two, although Arizona has gone over in 12 of their last 18. The Cardinals went over 4 of their last 5 games heading into the break. But let's see how you guys have it here in this one with St. Louis and Arizona. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here, and it's still, though, 9 under 15 right now at Bovada, 9 under 20 currently at DraftKings. So let's see how you have it here with St. Louis and Arizona. Lovable plays thinks it'll be 6-5. And Jermaine, I think he just said P-fart on the screen. Lovable plays like St. Louis, NYC bar, likes the over. I got to take the Cards in this one. I'm taking the Cards on the road over Arizona. Couple more here right now, and let's go to the Brewers taking on the Dodgers with Jose Quintana on the mound here. Let me make sure. I think it could be Priester, actually. Let me fix that. There we go. Priester. He's on the mound against the Dodgers here. Is that total right? What is it, 10.5? No, That's a typo. Thank you. Sorry about that. 8.5. There we go. maybe it will go over though. Let's take a look with these two. With Quinn Priester coming into this one, he's 7-2 with a 3.55 ERA, 1.25 WHIP, 234 batting average against, and a 265 BABIP. For Tyler Glasnow, 6 starts, 1-0 record, 3.52 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, 171 batting average against, and a 200 BABIP. Now, Glasnow's having some walk issues here for sure so far this season. Man, he's walking almost 15% of the batters so far, but we'll see. I mean, you do have the Dodgers here, clear-cut favorite in this one. Glasnow's, back and looking okay here, I think, say the least. But Milwaukee comes in hot. Remember, they were hot entering the break. They've won 13 of their last 15 on the road. They're on a winning streak also coming in. And get this, they pretty much have been beating the Dodgers in the last few games, although those games are at home. The Brewers beat the Dodgers at home, remember that? But they lose here in LA. They've lost 7 of their last 8, actually, overall, and they never cover the run line. They've lost 12 of their last 15 games on the run line here in LA. So for the Dodgers here, they'd lost 7 of their last 9 into the break. They were struggling a bit. However, they'd won 10 of their last 15 games at home. Still feels like maybe it could be a high price. You got a decent pitcher here in Priester as far as his numbers are concerned. Let's see what you guys have in the chat today in this one between Milwaukee and the Dodgers. Here we go in the chat. Fernando says, and he's our Brewers correspondent, remember. So he's got the Dodgers on the run line here. And Terrell says you got they're all rested, I think, right? Cash Kane, Dodgers on the money line. NYC Bar says Dodgers money line here. And, I get it. I mean, you're still laying $1.90 or so, but feels like the sharps are on the Dodgers here. It's just, I don't know if I want to trust the price with these guys. I got to take the Brewers on the run line here in this one. They are minus $1.25, but they're hot. They were hot in the break. I'll take it as a close game. Give me Milwaukee on the run line here in this one. And one more tonight. We got a good game here with Houston taking on Seattle in a big division. It's Ron Sade, the Penguin. There, Terrell says. Okay, here we go. Astros taking on the Mariners here in this one. You've got Walter, the rookie left-hander, going up against Castillo. Walter here, I think this is a good spot for Walter. 7 starts. The Astros are just 2-5 with Walter, but a 3.9 ERA, 1.0 WHIP, 245 batting average against. I'm going to give Walter a chance here to have a good outing in this one up against Castillo. Castillo's 6-5, a 3.41 ERA, 1.23 WHIP. Maybe not totally Castillo numbers, but it looks like he's kind of rounding back here a little bit into form. And you do have Seattle here a favorite, $1.35, 7.5. Under at minus 120. With the Mariners actually favored, of course, in this game. Let's see how you have it today. You got Houston here. They lost 5 of their last 6 coming in to this one, but they'd won 6 of their last 7 games on the road. Seattle here had won 6 of their last 9 coming in, including 4 of their last 5 games at home here in this one. Man, this looks like an okay price for Houston for me right now. And I'm going to take the Astros tonight on the road over Seattle at plus $1.10 or so. Maybe a little higher than that. I'm taking Houston on the road. Right now you look at, we talked about the standings a little bit in the American League West, and you have Houston a 5-game lead over Seattle. So this is a huge series here to open the second half. Seattle could do some damage here on that lead, but right now Houston 16 games over 500 here, and should also be noted, Seattle, they're not bad. They're 15-10 against left-handed starters, so that may interest you. Let me get the chat here going in this one. You've got Cash Kane on the Mariners. Terrell says Arozarena's looking good. Jermaine says Mariners money line, and that Castillo has his good numbers against those right-handed bats. Andrew K., he wants to know, what do you think, Spain and Switzerland today? And man, we really should have mentioned that in the monologue, Andrew, because it's been an exciting tournament. We haven't done a lot with it, but we're in the knockout stage. And what a game yesterday. What a bizarre, I don't know if I've ever seen penalty kicks. Now, maybe I have, actually. The ladies' penalty kicks are a little different sometimes. That was wild, though. It was wild. Seattle money line for lovable plays, but England coming out of there with the win yesterday. Just a wild game for sure. I think that's the only way you could put it, the way that the penalties went down. The goalie comes in to kicks it way over the goal. And, England misses 3 in a row, and they're still able to win. So, all right. I think that's it for the show here. I'm on Houston here in this one. I think I got one Canadian Football League game to talk about here today, and it's going to be the Calgary Stampeders taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers here in a good game out west. Take a look at the two teams here real quick in this one and cover it for you. See if you're interested in Canadian action tonight. We'll give them some attention now because they won't be getting there when we get to. So we saw last night's game, Toronto and Montreal. Real exciting game, big time comeback, and ended up a 1-point game there with Toronto and Montreal. That big comeback. Montreal couldn't get the spread, but they won the game 26-25. So here tonight, you got Winnipeg, man. They're really strong defensively, aren't they? But how is it going to go? I'm going to take Winnipeg here in this one. I'll lay 3 points against Calgary tonight. I think I have a premium on the total actually in this game. So let me go here with Winnipeg tonight. I think it could be tough against Winnipeg's defense for Calgary. Look, they've been great so far. They're 4-1. Some people say they've overachieved. Vernon Adams has done a nice job. Dedrick Mills having a pretty good time of it here with some strong games for sure, but you're up against a pretty good defense, man, and you would think guys like Wheatfall and Dembski will be the difference here against Calgary's skill players. I mean, who really is outside of Mills, the running back, and Calgary really runs the ball well, and that helps everything that they do. But if the score becomes high, I don't know if they have the guys. I mean, they've got Phil Potts' brother. He obviously had that big game last time out. And, man, I got to go with Winnipeg here in this one. I'll lay 3 points with Winnipeg there. Terrell, it's got Wood and Arozarena to get a 40-1 shot there for a home run. Wow. How about that today? Also, NBA Summer League, please consider my subscriptions over at Winnable. I don't know if anybody in the chat, any of the subscribers can vouch for me. I pretty much have, I don't want to say destroyed the Summer League, but we've had a good week for sure. And coming off that 6-1 day yesterday, fully documented, just subscribe to the picks. They're over there at Winnable. Can't fudge the numbers there, sending them out to the over 3 dozen subscribers that we currently have lined up with the winnable picks. So check it out. There's 6 games today, and I've been firing on practically every game. So check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. What else interests you? I saw you talked about the soccer there. Look, Spain and Switzerland. The thing is, Switzerland's at home, and maybe that gives them the potential. You're still up against Spain here now. No Esther Gonzalez, I think, for Spain. I mean, I think she's doubtful right now, Esther Gonzalez. I mean, she is pretty terrific. Let me bring myself back up here. There we go. But I think she is doubtful for the game. That certainly hurts Spain here in this one. So, all right, let's see what we can do here. I haven't put out anything publicly in this tournament, and I said I might here during the quarterfinal knockout stage here in this one. Man, Switzerland is a plucky host, aren't they? And they had that dramatic win to advance here for sure. I mean, Spain has been the best tournament team. They should win even against this home team for sure. And hey, look, this would be pretty much a big shocker, it feels like, here today, but the line isn't too crazy here if you think about it. I think Switzerland's getting a lot of respect at home. Now, it seems like a pretty high line when you talk about Spain here minus 1,800. I mean, they're favored by like 3 goals, but man, Switzerland's so tough. I kind of want to just take Switzerland. Maybe even a little low. Maybe taking plus 2 goals. I think 2 goals is like plus $1.75. This could be a 3-2 game today. That'd be a high score, man. But could it be 3-2 here in this one? I don't know if it's going to be a low. So I'll take Switzerland. I think 2 3/4 goals is the actual line right now. You talked me into it. I'll take Switzerland today plus 2 goals at plus $1.75 today. Let's go. Switzerland's the home team, and I think they'll maybe it won't be 3-2. Maybe they will pack it in. Give me those Switzerland plus 2 goals. All right, I think that's going to do it for the morning's team. I've enjoyed my time with you here this morning. And Fernando likes an anytime goal for Del Castillo. But she must start, Fernando says. Okay. And we'll be back tomorrow with more morning steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Get you ready for the UFC action tomorrow. Don't forget to join us for our live companion coverage for Holloway versus Poirier and the rest of the great card there. Look, we've already previewed the action here on the channel. Make sure you check us out. VB, MMA picks currently locked and loaded. And, of course, First Strike. The guys have their 3 top plays for the action, and I'll be with them on Saturday night for UFC 318 from the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. That's going to do it for our first day back of the morning steam, and we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for joining me here. We're back to normal here and getting ready for football season, what we're doing, but we'll go through the baseball every day here for the next few weeks, and we'll start talking a little preseason. We'll start talking college football and all of our sports betting season here to come. That's going to do it for the morning steam and for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
It's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.